Tonight's video won't really be all that long, but I wanted to touch upon red flags. And whenever you've dealt with someone in your past that has done you wrong in any way, you can usually see that pattern in other people that might enter into your life. And seamlessly, everything seems fine, everything seems great. And these little things happen along the way that kind of trigger a little bit of deja vu, a little bit of PTSD, a little bit of, I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't feel right. Immediately, most people want to stop a relationship or friendship from happening based off of these red flags. The red flags are your warning signs, so that seems appropriate. But in reality, everyone has some red flags that are going to set you off. There's something you will dislike about another human being. The more things you've been through in your life, the more red flags you tend to have. The idea is not to thwart any people that have red flags. It is to find red flags you are okay with. Find red flags that you can handle. Find red flags that the other person is working on to sidestep where it might be a tender spot for you, but, essentially you do have to work on your red flags. You have to work on the ability to get past whatever is in your way. But there are some things that are unavoidable. I have lots of unavoidable things in my life. I used to have an ex that would go through my phone. I would walk in and he would just be going through my phone. While I have nothing to hide at all whatsoever, that is disconcerting because there's no trust there. If you have to go through my phone to figure out whatever it is. And of course, he never found anything because there was nothing there. When the next person came along and had questions about my phone, I immediately got defensive, which made me look very guilty. I should have worked on that, and I didn't. That's my fault. But essentially, the fact that he needed to see my phone pushed those red flags in my face and made me not want to work on them because he was proving me right. He was proving that everything that I was worried about was indeed true, that there was no trust in our relationship, in the second relationship, as well as the first. So those warning signs are there to tell you what to work on, but it is also there to tell you what you don't want as well. Find people in your life that have red flags that you are willing to work with. Red flags that don't set you off. Red flags that might be, while inadvertent, they don't disrespect you and your space and your privacy and your trust and how you feel. Find people in your life who have red flags that you can tolerate. Some people might have less red flags than others. I tend to be 10 times more accepting than majority of people in my life. I've been through enough. I don't judge. I have my own proclivities that most people would find despicable, but I don't judge because of it. It's pretty much number one rule for me is not to judge. Everybody has been somewhere, and I cannot question their motives because I wasn't in their shoes. So there are some people who have a lot less red flags, and then there are some people who have been through a lot more. And the more hurt we've felt, the more red flags we are going to tend to feel because our line of sight has opened up. And instead of having these blinders that sit right on side of us, they open up or they fall off. And we can see the world exactly as it is, which means sometimes we see those red flags coming from a mile away and the other person is completely unaware. And if you tend to push too hard, you could push someone away based off of your own red flags when they didn't even know they had them. So always handle other people with grace and care, but find people who have red flags you can tolerate. You don't have to eliminate your need for, getting rid of looking for the red flags. We're kind of ingrained to self-protect in a way. And that only goes so far. There are some people who put all these walls up, and as soon as they see a red flag, they shoot everything down. Everything is gone. See you later. You're not going to be in my life. And I am 100% guilty of putting up what a friend of mine calls force fields. I have force fields all around me that tend to keep those dangers out because of the many things that have happened in my life. And the idea behind it was, he told me that I need to start taking them down. Easier said than done, right? I thought so too. What he told me is that, yes, it is keeping all of those dangerous, horrible, terrifying things from happening again to me. But it is also keeping out all of the good, wonderful, amazing things that could happen in my life that I have shot down 20 yards ago before it ever got to me. And that makes perfect sense, because I see all of those red flags and I don't see a whole lot of the good that comes out of it. So lately I have been taking down my force fields and allowing good to happen. And it's been pretty amazing. It is pretty terrifying, but it is pretty amazing as well to take down force fields and live in the moment, meet more people, not X people out for various reasons that I might find absolutely appropriate for my own reasonings. I have met some fantastic people. I've made lots of new friends. And that is the most amazing part to all of this is, of course, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for anything along those lines. But I can never have too many friends. I can never have too many people that have benefited my life, and in turn, I can benefit theirs. One in particular has become kind of my spiritual guru. He is incredibly even keel, chill. He understands me on a very spiritual level, and he's almost guided me through this process of letting things go. And as I let things go, I realize that ball that I roll up the hill, the nice big stone for us Sisyphuses of the world, it has lessened in weight some. And that is absolutely amazing, because I've let things go in my life before, and then there's something else to take its place, and the weight never goes away. It's just displaced. Something else takes its place, and that's it. By letting go, I am chipping off little pieces of that stone so that there is nothing to displace. There's nothing in my life that needs to replace that weight on my shoulders. And I feel a lot freer than I did before. So thank you very much to my spiritual guru out there. He gives me lessons every single day that I implement in my life. And in turn, I give him words to describe how he feels, because I'm pretty eloquent. It's been a fantastic exchange, and I would have never, ever met this person had I not gone through everything in my life to lead me to this moment. And that's a beautiful thing, because I've made a good friend by letting down one of my force fields. And that's just one. I have plenty more to go. Self-growth is never ending. It continues on and on and on. And as I learn new things, I will grow from that too. This is not something that stops. I will grow until the day I die. I will grow probably even beyond that, depending on what is in the afterlife. So don't look at red flags as such a horrible thing. Just find red flags that work for you. Take down your force fields when the time comes. There are things that will happen where your force fields pop right back up into place. and you don't want to be jaded or bitter or uncomfortable with it. So you have to be able to take them down later. You can't just leave them up because it's going to protect you forever, because then nothing good ever comes back in, and all you're left with is this bitter, jaded force field that separates you from everyone else. You deserve better than that. You deserve more. You're worth it. When the time comes, take the force field down. Trust, love, enjoy, and let the good in. The bad isn't so bad when there's so much good out there that can come your way. But if you shut everything off and wall off everything, you'll never know, good or bad, what's really out there for you. So, you can watch for the red flags. It's okay. It's normal. Find people who work for you, who understand your red flags, who you can understand their red flags, and you can dance around each other and not touch the red flag. The red flag isn't important. It's everything else that makes up the person that is important, as long as it is not toxic or disrespectful and it doesn't harm you in any way. Take your force fields down, go out in the world, meet new people, and enjoy them all. Everyone has something that they can teach you. Whether it is something to do, something not to do, you learn something fantastic that you didn't even know you wanted to know. There are so many things. Just go out there, be brave, take the force field down, and enjoy life. Y'all have a good night.